Hey guys, we're back at the GSL Code S, and we just had a stomp by parting over Ragnarok. That was disgusting.
It was messed up, man. I can't believe that actually happened that way.
Yeah, that should not have been shown on TV.
I actually can be completely... I'm like, okay, this actually happens this way every single time with parting. He just mass blink stalkers and sentries. It's kind of the name of the game these days in PvZ.
Yeah.
And some like going to kind of deal with it, others do not. And Ragnarok, you know, just kind of got really caught out, and especially in that second game.
Exactly. Zergs are just almost every single Zerg, except like Life, I guess, in recent times. They're just not able to deal with this style. It's just he just does it to perfection, basically, and that's the hardest part about it. You know, other Protosses, they try to copy him. They get close. I'd say, you know, it's a pretty strong style in general.
Very strong in the current meta.
Parting is the best at it by far.
Oh yeah, he just takes it to another level. His micro, his force fields, everything about it is just. It's entirely his way of playing. It has been for this many years, like 4 years now, 5 years even. And you know, finally the meta comes around. And it's like, oh, you know what? This is what you do against Zerg at this point. You know,
he's like, all right, I'll just keep doing what I do already. It
happens, and you know what? We could even see this against this upcoming match we have with MyuNgSiK versus Dark. I'm not exactly sure where Dark is at in his ZvP right now, but he had a bit of a scare earlier this month. He lost to I believe it was Trap 1-3 in the Star League Challenger. You know, he got stomped. I know actually at that time Dark had just come back from traveling, I believe, so he was jet lagged. He looked really like out of it when he lost those games, but still, it's something that's really going to shake your confidence in the matchup. Look at it today.
For sure. And MyuNgSiK, we'll talk about him a little bit later, but he is just very, very good in this matchup. I'd say, this is probably his best matchup here. Dark, you know, he's pretty famous for his ZvT. You know, this is probably his best matchup if we're talking about him. But like you said, ZvP, not his strong suit, and he's going up against a guy who's very confident in the match. Let's see if his new uniform can carry him to a competent win here, or if he's going to go down to the loser's match.
Let's hope so, Valdez. I haven't really had a uniform that improved my skill, unfortunately, but damn it, if there was one, it would be the SKT.
Yeah. Look at that. They've got like so many different sponsors too. Bakari Sweat, New Balance.
Insane.
Klev, whatever that is. I gotta look into that actually.
Man, I'm gonna check that out, man. That sounds like something I need. And here we go. MyuNgSiK, and he's actually really in form these days. He's been playing so well. He actually used to be a player maybe like 3 months ago. We'd look at him and be like, you know, he's not doing so well. Like, hey, it's like not that good.
I don't
know, man. But nowadays, he's been annihilating Zergs, actually. He's been doing very well specifically in this matchup. Defeated Lenok and Pet in Pro League recently. Lysira and Rogue in the Casper Cup qualifiers in straight sets.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, exactly. He's that good. He is really in form. He's looking fantastic. His team just got a sponsor. Everyone's in high spirits. He's dangerous. He's dangerous right now, Valdez.
He is so dangerous, man. I mean, Life, he had a little bit of trouble changing to a different team. MyuNgSiK, he doesn't really seem like the type of player. I think he's going to come into this one swinging, man. I think Dark's got to be super scared coming into this. Let's see the vetoes, though. Deadwing and Bonnie Research Station here for Dark. Merry-Go-Round and Iron Fortress here for MyuNgSiK.
Yeah, MyuNgSiK doesn't want to deal with that Iron Fortress, it seems. Doesn't want to... I guess it really is a map that forces you to be a little bit more aggressive. That's fair enough. We are going to be starting things off on Expedition Lost. No, I don't think it's the worst map for Protoss either. You know, there's a lot of great positions for force fields to really make a big effect. Blink Stalkers, Master Sentry is going to do a lot of work on this map as well.
And also, MyuNgSiK is just a very creative Protoss. He's one of the best at just like throwing out some crazy builds, crazy all-ins too. We could see some kind of very aggressive 2-base play, or maybe just some solid Protoss versus Zerg here for MyuNgSiK. Let's get into the game right now here. Dark versus MyuNgSiK for the second matchup of Group B. Down here in the bottom left in the red, our Zerg player from SK Telecom. He is
SK Telecom T1 Dark.
His chair is wobbling. That is interesting.
He's got a mind of his own.
I don't know what's going on there. And the top right, you have MyuNgSiK.
SBENU GSL.
SBENU GSL. I guess they haven't really done the sound for it yet, so they're just simply going to let us do it for him. That's fair enough. It has only happened yesterday.
DJ Waters 22 loves the GSL. We love you too.
Yeah, we love you too, buddy. You gotta get some SBENUs, man. Show that true love.
Only then are you a true fan
Yep.
of StarCraft II.
That's what I like to think. That's why I bought mine today.
Yeah. I'm going to go down to the store, too.
Yeah.
We could take some pictures, put them up on Twitter.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
I'll take some pictures of you, Valdez.
Yeah. I'll do some modeling photos.
Yeah. All right, we are going to see that pretty quick drone scout. Oh, Dark. Looks like he might be going for that hatchery shenanigans that we had seen recently.
Hey, guys. Welcome down to the studio.
Yeah, welcome, guys. Good to see everyone. And here we go again. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
You know, I wonder how this is going to go, because if MyuNgSiK's been paying attention the last month or so, he's got to know. I mean, this just recently happened. Biel did it against a Protoss
Hero?
Hero, yeah. He did it against Hero.
Yep.
In the Pro League Round 2 finals.
Yeah.
And it worked incredibly well, even though Hero didn't know about it.
Yeah, that's true. And look at this. We are going to see pretty greedy opening from MyuNgSiK. No idea it's going to be coming. And the hatchery, I like the position of this hatchery opposed to the one we saw from Biel. It is a little further back. It's going to take a little bit more time for the creep to really show near that ice wall. So he can put down those spine crawlers, start beating it down. Let's see where this probe is going to be headed, and it's going to be heading straight for the hatchery.
Look at this match history. 5-0 for Dark over MyuNgSiK.
Wow.
That's pretty intense,
Good
man.
change here.
He gets the scout. It's very important, and now he gets to decide how he's going to deal with this.
Yeah, what's the reaction? What is the reaction of a top-level Protoss that knows it's coming? Because we actually haven't seen that yet. We've seen a lot of Protosses fold to it, or especially we've seen like one of the best Protosses, CJ Hero, fold to it. What will happen? What will he have planned from this? Does he go for, fast 4-gate or something like that? Fast warp gate, try and get out enough units to just blow it up, shut it down? Does he go for very quick stalkers to obviously deal with the roaches that'll be on the way?
Yeah. Well, what we saw at Biel was just a ton of speedlings.
Oh, that's right.
A bunch of queens and, of course, some spine crawlers. Once you knock down the ice up there on the high ground, you push them forward with your lings, try to get some surrounds.
Well, it's a forge. It's a start. But he knows it's coming for sure, so... Is he going to put some cannons at the top of that ramp? Maybe near the Nexus at the main base? I guess they can get pretty quick +1 as well from this forge, though. He probably won't get it in time before the links get into the base. He does have a good force field, though. At least one.
He's got one. That sentry's building up energy. He's trying to chrono boost out a second sentry, too. Seems like the plan here for MyuNgSiK is just going to try to buy... Well, there's crazy spine crawler action there on screen for a second. He's going to try to buy some time for himself to, I guess, get out a bunch of units.
Ooh, Lings are going to start trading with this one Zealot. Sentry's going to have to get down here and help out. Might have to commit to a force field earlier than he wanted to. Or not.
Looks like he's just going to let the Zealot die, in fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Speed is just about to finish. Just finishes now. Force field on the ramp into the main base as well.
This is so scary for MyuNgSiK right now. Lings are attacking at the front. The cannon only finishes now, rather. But it looks like there is enough sentries at the back wall. But will there be enough here at the front to stop the Lings?
With this cannon, it's going to help out. It's going to take, going to be pretty close.
It's going to be incredibly close.
He's going to need to put down more gateways, more pylons. He's going to really have to build the SimCity up further and further. And Lings are going to get in just a second.
Oh, and they get in. And the cannon not powered there for a second. Oh, nice block there. He's going to block the main. But this cannon is going to go down this natural.
Well, yeah, no, the back base is...
Oh, my God.
The back way into the main is also a big problem. And MyuNgSiK, he even saw it coming, and he didn't have an answer for it. It's kind of a scary new meta on this map.
Yeah.
This is why we did see, parting.
Parting, he just banned this map out. He's like, I don't want to see this map, man.
And we can see why, with a pretty ruthless strategy from Dark.
That's going to be it. I mean, there's nothing that MyuNgSiK can do right now. GG. Dark's going to take game number 1 in pretty quick fashion.
Yeah, we're getting some quick games again, Valdez. Yeah. This seems to be the trend whenever we fill in for Tastosis here at the Code S. It just happens.
Yeah.
Dark looking very strong. MyuNgSiK must be a little rattled after that one. I mean, he saw it coming. He must have like, he thought he had it figured out, but clearly not.
I guess if you're going to go up against that style, you just cannot get that early of a Nexus, or you need extra cannons early or something.
You might even just need to send a probe there first, like maybe forge opening, send the probe first. If you see it there, deal with it somehow, or get out enough cannons to shut it down completely, and then proceed to play that macro game.
I know someone out there is saying like, oh my god, it's unstoppable. Protosses have so much trouble on that map. It definitely is stoppable. You just have to scout it and you have to tailor your build to it as well.
It is a dirty build because at the same time, if you commit too hard to dealing with this proxy hatchery and he just cancels it or let it dies and plays a macro game from there, you could also put yourself in a horrible position.
Yeah, that is true. I'm just curious to see more PvZs on that map, see how the players kind of react to it, especially the Protoss players, and see what kind of answers they come up with in the future. But guys, for now, we're going to jump into match number 2 here between Dark and MyuNgSiK. It's going to be on King Sage's station. And I think maybe MyuNgSiK will have a better chance in this one.
Possibly, unless we see like a proxy hatchery at the debris or something cool like that. I'd love to see if that can actually happen.
That would be insane. Let's see what we got here in game number 2. Let's jump into it right now here at the GSL Code S between Dark and MyuNgSiK. Up here in the top left, in the red, our Zerg player. He is
SK Telecom T1 Dark.
Down here in the bottom right, we do have the player down a game. He is SBENU GSL.
That was good, Moonglade.
Thanks, man.
That was pretty on point there.
I've been practicing my impersonations, though I don't know if I could do another Artosis. That one really took a lot out of me.
That's like a once in a lifetime, man. That's
I like twisted my vocal cords to a point I did not know that could happen.
Yeah.
We'll try it again sometime soon. And look at that. We are seeing a pylon on the top of the ramp from MyuNgSiK, so he isn't going to be going for Forge shenanigans. Going to be going for a gateway expand by the looks of things.
And look at this from Dark. It looks like he's going to go 14-14, trying to possibly punish an early Nexus out of MyuNgSiK. We've seen him do this before, and especially we've seen Zergs do it on this map. Just a pretty aggressive build, especially if it doesn't get scouted. Can definitely do a lot of damage. The Protoss is pretty greedy.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to see a very early scout from MyuNgSiK though, so he's going to know it's coming. It might force him to, go into Cybercore and gas and delay that expansion a little bit more. Or we'll see him put down the Forge, and he'll put down a cannon at the Nexus and proceed to defend from there, which we do see a lot of Protosses react that way to this kind of build.
Well, he's going to come in here, see the gas, see the pool. He's going to know exactly what build it is, and puts down the Nexus in the face of it.
Yep, puts it down. I guess the next sort of thing up here is going to be that pylon, Forge.
Hey guys, welcome to the studio. Glad to have you here. Hope you're enjoying the game so far.
Right. So it's going to be one gas actually. No Forge whatsoever. No Zealots. No Cybercore. There it is.
Puts down an extra pylon there,
yeah,
top of the ramp.
Kind of dangerous situation. We don't exactly know for sure how he's going to deal with these lings that are going to be coming across the map, and they're going to have Zergling speed soon, and it's going to be even harder to deal with. A Zealot finally coming out now.
The Zerg with this build, of course, they forego that early hatchery to get a lot of map control and put the pressure on the Protoss, but of course on the back of this, once you get that control, you can commit to a lot of lings, but also you can put down a natural hatchery and put down a third base pretty easily, because it's going to be a long time before that Protoss comes out on the map.
Yeah, you really slow down the build a lot from the Protoss, reacting to this kind of ling aggression. We're seeing a lot of chrono boosters used on Zealots, and a Mothership Core. It's going to be out the natural. Yeah. And it's not going to be a full commitment to lings here, just about 10 lings, maybe 12. It's not going to be enough to kill the Nexus, I believe.
He's making 6 more, 8 more.
Okay, maybe he will commit.
10 more.
With the lack of Forge, I wonder maybe he can just kill. That's the other thing here, because we are only seeing Zealots come out with this Mothership Core. It's got 40 energy until it does have a photon overcharge, which will really drive the lings back. He might be unexpecting a bit of this kind of level of ling aggression. Speed is finished. Scouts out the little Sim City for the Zealots. But what does it mean for this many lings?
There's already 3 Zealots on the map. I feel like as long as MyuNgSiK plays safe, but let's see those Zealots a little bit far out. They are going to get a little nook there. He's going to have to get up the ramp.
Oh, he's going to try
to
block him.
He doesn't get it. Some lings get through, but I don't know, still a decent position here for the Protoss, but a lot of Lings here.
Oh, very nice force field, actually. He actually keeps one of those Zealots alive. It's on 4 HP.
That's really nice from MyuNgSiK. The Sentry actually popping out right on time.
Yeah, and more Lings being committed to this, actually. Streaming across the map, but now, finally, the drone transition. Gets a Zealot. Gets one of those pylons. But no critical damage whatsoever. You know, about, what was it, 3 probes went out for that?
I think about. But at this point, he does have that Nexus cannon. He is going to push the Lings back for a long time. And even though he did get some damage done, at the same time, the amount of drones that Dark has is very low. He was on 14 for an extremely long time, picking only Lings. So you have to think, is it really worth it?
Yeah, I think he might have been banking on a bit more damage than that. Maybe if he got a surround on those 3 Zealots, would have opened up the ramp, really forced maybe some more Chrono Boost being used, or more buildings being placed in the Sim City. Or, you know, maybe he could have actually sacked that Nexus in the bottom. We're not sure, but he didn't get the damage done. And the game kind of stabilizes from here for both players, though the Protoss is on equal sort of economy at this point, which is one big problem for Dark.
Yeah, and we see a robotics facility, and I'd say like 60% of the time, especially when you're playing against MyuNgSiK, if you see that robotics facility, you're saying, okay, I think it's going to be Immortals. Could be also a War Prism drop, you know, maybe some sentries top of the ramp.
It could very well be, actually. And there we go. Get a War Prism. The other danger here could be, you know, sentry drop on the ramp. Kills the main base.
Exactly.
Easy peasy.
The thing about this is that MyuNgSiK doesn't have a super high amount of gateways. This isn't any kind of all-in War Prism drop, I think.
It's kind of a War Prism drop that buys you a lot of time as well. Like, that threat is there. And look at that. We are seeing Immortals being built behind this. So it could just be, you know, sentry drop, harassment, you know, try and get some decent drone kills. Really put the Zerg on the back foot in terms of economy. Maybe force out units. He doesn't want to make this early because he wants to be obviously banking on nothing but drones, going into tier 2, getting a Roach Warren down. And behind it, you know, make a nice Immortal count and go for that Immortal all-in.
Yeah. 4 extra gates on the way. I think that's what we will see. Sentry drop coming in here. Let's see how the force fields are.
This is not good. You know, fighting with drones against this, not going to help at all. And he's actually going to get this Queen by the looks of things.
Just going to force field it in, trying to focus down some sentries, but MyuNgSiK seeing an opportunity. He's going to warp in some Zealots now.
Oh yeah, this is actually huge. The Warp is going to survive for now as well. And that's 3 Zealots.
Oh my god. Already 7 drones have gone down.
This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. This is exactly what he wanted to happen. Dark was completely unprepared for this.
Yeah. All of his units out of position, and he's not even fully dealing with this just yet. The Zealot's still getting a lot more damage done.
This is so cost inefficient. It's absolutely amazing. 8 drones go down. All the Lings go down. He had to make a ton more. That's exactly what he does not want to be making at this point. Not when you see the units that are coming his way. When you see 2 Immortals, a ton of sentries. He's going to completely wall it off.
Yep, he's going to wall it. He's going to bring a probe with this as well, try to put down a forward pylon. The War Prism did survive as well, but having that probe, just a little bit of extra.
Now the one problem here is there is no +1 attack for the Zealots, so Lings can be a little bit more effective than usual in this kind of matchup. But it's about, you know, getting past those force fields, which is the biggest problem at this point, and that is a lot of sentries. 10 sentries, to be exact.
Wow. That's pretty insane, man.
He's going to have more than enough force fields to deal with this. He might want to get a few more Stalkers out before he completely engages, though. That is a nice concave of Roaches.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty high number, too. Those 2 Immortals in the back, they can do huge damage if you get some good force fields down, but he needs to get a good position, like you said, some Stalkers.
Yep.
His Roaches, though, had to be super careful.
It's going to give him enough time to kind of push the Roaches and the third base if he wants to, but he finds some nice force fields.
Really, really nice. Going to pick off some of these Roaches before the full fight happens. Dark is trying to commit it here. And I have to say, the force fields at the top were not on time. Now these Roaches taking out a lot of sentries.
Still, though, he manages to fight it back for now. Fairly decent fight there, but he did lose a lot of sentries, which was the biggest problem. He lost about half his sentries, actually.
Yeah. 3 of those sentries, I think, were still back at the base. They were dealing with that Zergling run-by we had earlier.
That's right, and this is a horrible position for Dark. He might actually be able to just DBS down this hatchery before Dark can even get in position to go for a, a flank. He's going to commit to it there. He's going to defend more. He's just trading so efficiently against his army. And another beautiful time warp and force fields. Cutting apart this army.
I don't know, man. This is not looking so good for Dark, but let's see what he can do. Trying to attack from both sides now. A lot of Zealots being warped in here for more tanking for these Immortals in the back. They're just doing so much damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're untouched.
They've been completely untouched at this point, and it's one of the biggest things for Zergs to deal with. You know, you want to try and jump on top of the Immortals at the start of the fight, but with these force fields, with these time warps, Dark has always been on the back foot when engaging. He's got a little bit of a window here. You know, he's the Mothership Core is only at 50 energy. The Sentry's energy is pretty low at this point as well.
Baiting out some more force fields there, actually. 3 more coming through. But again, that hatch is so low. He's not even mining from it.
That's the thing. He doesn't actually have to pressure it anymore because there's no mining. They're on equal economy at this point, which is perfect, absolutely perfect for MyuNgSiK. Then he can take his time, making that death ball, making it very cost efficient, waiting for more energy with these sentries, and he's going to just take a very easy fight against Mass Roach.
Yeah. Just keep on having efficient trades. He's got enough sentries that he'll just always have force fields,
Yeah, that is actually an insane amount of sentries. 16 to be precise.
Now he's going to get up the ramp here. Going to force field out some more of those roaches. Some are squeaking through, but they're not getting the fights they need. And I think this is just too much Protoss.
Nope.
GG.
GG, what a beatdown. MyuNgSiK. The great start to the series, and damn it, I am not surprised, Valdez. I came into this thinking MyuNgSiK was very dangerous, especially against Zerg in his recent form.
Yeah. I mean, that first game was a bit of a gimmicky one from Dark. MyuNgSiK, it didn't seem like he had the build to stop that build, but here in game number 2, we're seeing what MyuNgSiK is made of. And Dark, once again in game number 2, kind of going with a very aggressive play, kind of put a knife into his economy very early on. He didn't really have many drones throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Just because he was worried about that push, and he was never able to get a good 3-base economy. He went up to like max 45 drones, I think.
Yeah. He definitely crippled his economy for some, so, he's kind of betted on doing a little bit more damage than that. If he had got those 3 Zealots, he could have really opened up this game and taken a huge advantage with economy. But that wasn't the case. MyuNgSiK was on point. He had some great force fields, great positioning, great SimCity, and it made for an easy follow-up with an Immortal land.
We're going to go into game 3 in a second, guys. Stay tuned, stick with us. We have the players in lobby. Map is going to be Overgrowth for game number 2. Pretty fun little PvZ map.
That is right, Overgrowth. One of the most standard maps. The map's been around for years and years and years. Haven't got rid of it just yet. Can make for some pretty interesting ZvP in recent times as well, with the gold bases being a pretty popular sort of place for Zerg to expand to as their first base. Jumping in this just a moment's time. This is a big match for both these players. Pretty good map for both these players as well. No real advantage on this one. Pretty just straightforward 50-50 map, in my opinion.
Straight up. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of, like you said, Zerg play with the gold base, especially at Alinok and even Shine. A lot of these very aggressive Zergs. And let's see if Dark goes for it. He's been playing aggressive in these first 2 games. It would kind of fit with the style that he's going with these days. Maybe he said, I can't play against Protoss later on. I don't have Swarmos anymore. I just need to go for early game. I need to go for early pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least what we're seeing these first 2 games.
He's got to be careful, but yeah, it is kind of exactly who MyuNgSiK is. He's a very aggressive Protoss.
Let's jump into game 3, guys. GSL Code S here. Dark versus MyuNgSiK. And down here in the bottom left, our red Zerg, he is
SK Telecom T1 Dark.
I use that mouse.
Zergs stay united.
And up the top right here, we do have the Protoss player. SBENU MyuNgSiK.
Oh, man. I'm liking the jersey. Got that red and white going on.
Oh, it's fantastic, actually. They look great in these jerseys. Much better than that We Need a Sponsor
look. Oh, God.
logo on the front of their jacket. Oh, this is much more professional.
Don't even mention that.
No, but it actually really suits MyuNgSiK, too. He looks fantastic today.
Yeah. Do you have another early drone scout here out of Dark? And on this map, we've said it before, gold bases are an option, especially for the Zerg.
Not going to be a gold base, though. It looks like simply going to be a drone scout for now.
Yeah.
Maybe proxy hatchery. Let's not count it out just yet, Valdez. You could just simply go for a scout into, you know, that 2 hatchery before pool. Greedy time play. Did run into that probe for just a second. Sees no expansion. So he knows for sure what's up. He can take that hatchery first, and he will. Yeah, it looks like he's going to keep this this drone here for just a little while longer. I wonder what's up with that. Looks like he's going to come back here and maybe try and deny it, actually. Okay.
Yeah, he's sticking around. Maybe just wants to see the timing. Just wants to make sure, possibly.
That's really good timing for this drone as well. He knew exactly when he would have 400 minerals to deny this Nexus. And it's going to actually take a while for one probe to deal with this. He's going to bring down a second one very smartly. Obviously wants to get this down ASAP. He's losing minerals the longer he does this.
This is just so annoying. I remember when this got popular like a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Even in Brood War it was popular. Yeah. And it was so frustrating. It was much worse in Brood War, I think. Oh, got some fans in the audience. Ashamed to show their faces on TV.
Yep. The classic block your hair with your face with your hair, rather. Block your hair with your face. I don't know if anyone can do that.
Block your hair with your face? Well, I guess if you tie it behind your head, one could.
I guess that's possible. Shave the top of your head. Tie your back hair behind your head.
It'd be the weirdest haircut ever. You like look bald, but you had like a ponytail at the back.
Yeah.
Should I try it, Valdez?
You should, man.
Yeah,
just shave the hair on top.
Yeah, shave it on top. Shave the sides and top. Just have this big long ponytail at the back.
I like it. Big rat tail.
Yeah, it would be a
Follow
rat
you
tail.
behind.
Do you have many rat tails in America? You know, do you see that kind of style maybe on
no.
What are they? Rednecks?
Rednecks?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
It's actually kind of popular in Australia in the you know, the more Bergen side of.
Really?
Yeah, they get little rat tails.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Happens. I see it a lot in Brisbane.
Does happen.
Fun memories. Fun memories of home. The loud little teenage kids with rat tails.
Fond memories indeed.
Oh yeah, man. On the train.
Causing a ruckus.
Yeah. Hanging with their mates. Smoking in between the carriages, drinking a beer, eating McDonald's. You name it, they'll do it.
Kind of sounds like us these days.
Aussie, man. It is actually. No, that's not us at all, Valdez. What are you talking about? I don't think they'd let that slide on these Korean trains.
No way.
All right, Forge going down from MyuNgSiK, and not much else.
Yeah, sentries too. Oh man.
These Lings gonna find everything. This Overlord baited out the sentry, and we're gonna see Dark kind of find everything, or the lack thereof tech in this base. He's like, huh, either you have a proxy, or you're simply going for a fast third base with +1.
Looks like one probe actually went down. Some hero Lings here in the base. 2 more gates come down at the front to finish that wall and give you that 3 gates just to make a lot of sentries and open up that third base.
Yeah.
Kind of the classic build. Not the player classic, but just a build we've had for a while for Protoss to expand to that third base.
Very standard on this map, you know, much easier map to kind of defend that third base on because you can put that very healthy SimCity to block one of the ways in, put down that cannon, and you're pretty good against everything. And that's pretty much why we're seeing him forgo, you know, a Stargate or anything like that as well. You know, some players on other maps that are maybe a little bit more vulnerable third bases will want to get an Oracle out so they can defend against any sort of early speedlings as well. Early +1 will do the same. Get that on Zealots and they will 2-shot Lings. But Dark, you know, behind identifying this, went full drone, you know. He is sitting at currently 50 drones, 7.5 minutes in, and now he's you know, committing into some Lings. We might actually see some very heavy Ling roach aggression behind this because he knows how greedy MyuNgSiK's going to be.
It looks like Dark overreacting very slightly to the War Prison coming in. He pulled some drones to try to deal with that. But like you said, he gets up to 50 drones, but then he stops. He's making only roaches and Lings. Speed about to finish up here. It looks like he wants to put some pressure on that third base.
Yeah, he wants to try and end this early, and not a bad idea. MyuNgSiK, no Stargate, no Void Rays, or anything like that on the way. Just 3 gateways to help defend against this mass Ling Roach attack.
Yeah, he has scouted it with the hallucination, and he will put down some cannons now at the natural.
If he can reset the sentry count, he is just so far ahead. He has nothing to worry about for the longest time.
Yeah, that's the play. Some Lings poking at the front, taking some damage from that Mothership core. Looks like MyuNgSiK just going to try to keep his units, the units that he's got at least in a ball over there behind the third base. And even setting up some cannons in the mineral line right now. He's reacting to this.
Very, very smart. The only scary thing is, you know, that third base, these roaches will help deal with these sentries. We do see 2 cannons actually behind the Nexus finish up. And it's actually going to be pretty hard with good force fields.
Force fields, he gets a bunch of Lings through, actually. He's going to take them out.
Oh, wow. He's going to try DPS down the Nexus, actually. I don't know if that's enough roaches to help out. And with these really nice force fields, though, that is a lot. When they actually get cleaned up, these Lings might actually be able to clean up the sentries.
It's going to be really close, man. That Nexus is getting super low.
Not enough sentries.
And he's just going to be able to focus it down. He's going to get that third Nexus, and he's going to just try to back off now.
Oh, he put Photon Overcharge on it at the last second.
Whoa.
Ooh.
And Dark even baiting MyuNgSiK to chase a bit. Taking out another sentry. He's going to back off now. We do have 5 extra gates coming through from MyuNgSiK. It looks like some of those were at that third base, but I mean, at this point, either he tries to remake that third or just go all in, and it looks like he's going to just try to remake that third.
Yeah. Looks like he might put it down, but maybe he'll try and all in behind this. Look at the bank of Dark, by the way. He's over 2k minerals right now. He got that gas pretty late in his third base, but he is transitioning into those Hydras and that fourth base. He's going to have a very strong follow-up, and if MyuNgSiK goes all in from this, he might just get crushed. And he is going all in, by the way. 2 Immortals, no third base, War Prism on the way.
It looked like he was going to go for that third base with the probe, but I think he just decided, hey, I can't really go for that third base. I'm too far behind. But Dark, he's realized this. He's putting down some spines. And he's got a lot of Hydras on the way at the same time.
Yeah, if he can just buy enough time for this many Hydras to come out, he should have enough to deal with it. Though, as I say that, I look at the sentry count again, and that's 14 sentries. 14 sentries, he has +1 this time, 2 Immortals, War Prism to help out. This is going to be a very hard fight for Dark.
Oh, it really will. He's got so many gateways now, MyuNgSiK does. Dark, he is reacting to this in the full sense. He's going to pull all of his drones. Going to get them out in front of the spine crawlers, it looked like. Going to put them back for now.
No, MyuNgSiK can't wait too long here. I mean, the more Hydras that amass, it's going to be that much harder to deal with this kind of composition. And look at this, we're actually seeing some sentries go towards the main base. Look, he's trying to go for that force field on the ramp, but very smartly, Dark identifies this. Ooh.
Uh-oh, War Prism.
Yuck.
Getting pretty close, going to back off now. We got a huge amount of Hydraling. He's even got 3 spines up here at the top of the ramp. And I don't know, it's a big Protoss ball, but...
It's a big Protoss ball, but I think we might have seen MyuNgSiK miss his window, and we are seeing Blink on the way, another Immortal. Looks like MyuNgSiK might not want to try and fully commit to any sort of attack until he's got that, those upgrades done, +2 finished. So he can actually trade pretty efficiently, even with an army like this.
Yeah. We now see MyuNgSiK throw down a third base. So he will try to transition. Maybe just poke, try to get some efficient trades with all that energy he's got on those sentries.
Still, both players kind of just positioning right now. And it doesn't look like MyuNgSiK's going to commit to anything for now. Just simply make that third base, go for that death ball.
But I don't know, man. Dark's army right now is just so scary. MyuNgSiK is going to try to pick off some queens. 1 transfuse not going to save that. Looks like Dark now opening up a little... Some of these rocks actually in front of their path, it looks like, to try to possibly go for a wraparound if Dark, or rather if MyuNgSiK does commit to one side.
Yeah, and you know what? I like that Dark is going onto the map here. He can't just sit back, maxed out at this point, while he waits for Hive to finish up. We just saw the Infestation Pit finish up, I believe. Yeah, he did. And from here, obviously, want to go into Hive, go into Viper, but that's still a long way away. And he's maxed out at this point. He does have a nice, composition, a nice supply lead. He maybe can trade out some of these sentries, get rid of some of the important units here. It would be worth it, especially with this bank that's growing.
Dark now getting into a very nice concave, but MyuNgSiK can easily just back off, put down some force fields, and wait this one out. A big blink forward, and a lot of these stalkers out there to the left side.
I don't know about that, Valdez, but still he manages to trade pretty efficiently just with simply so many force fields. He can kind of just create the map he wants to fight in. And now Dark's going to have to get back. Transition back and get to those Vipers ASAP. He's also made that Spire pretty quickly as well. And it looks like MyuNgSiK got to be careful. Don't want to be fighting down a ramp.
That's like the perfect concave. 3 more force fields come down. They only catch 1 Hydra, but another blink forward.
Not a bad trade this time. He just get rid of a bunch of Hydras, Roaches, and stops that Warp Prism from going down. And now MyuNgSiK's reaching max as well. 182 supply currently. A couple more rounds of Warp and he will be maxed out with, I dare say, a much more cost-efficient army with this many force fields. Here we go again, Valdez.
Tons of force fields coming down. Another Time Warp there on the right side. Both these players actually getting a really nice concave, and those force fields just make this trade so good for MyuNgSiK.
Yeah, just absolutely unstoppable. You need to have something else to help out with this. Whether it be, Fungals even. Blinding Cloud, the preferred, obviously. Swarm Host, unfortunately, will not help out in this situation anymore, which used to be the age-old sort of go-to against a composition like this. Instead, we're going to see the good old-fashioned Roach Hydra fight. And once again, Force Field's really splitting this army up. MyuNgSiK picking him apart.
And he had so many sentries from the beginning that he just can continuously do this over and over and over again. Though, at the same time, right now he's only got 6 in this army.
Yeah, that is the one redeeming thing. Dark has managed to whittle down this army to a point where the sentry count is so low. Force fields will not be that much of a threat anymore, but still, that is such a big army to deal with.
Yep. A lot of these Stalkers, you just have this many Stalkers, you can blink micro forever. And we're seeing that happen right now here from MyuNgSiK. Couple of Immortals in the mix at the same time. We're going to see the drone speed pulled now for Dark. He needs to hold right now, but it's just not looking good for him, man. Just too many of these Stalkers, too highly upgraded.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all. The only thing that could go wrong maybe is a blink forward, but MyuNgSiK not going to make that mistake until now. And he's going to trade out a lot of his Stalkers for this, but he should have still too many.
Looks like a huge warp in coming through once again, and MyuNgSiK's going to take it. He's going to defeat Dark, and he's going to move on to the winner's match in this best of 3.
Yeah, we're going to see a good PvP in the winner bracket here, Valdez. And I think this is exactly what MyuNgSiK wanted. He knew that he was kind of scared of parting going into this, but he wanted to get to that winners, and then obviously have that better shot at dealing with the Zergs later on down the track. So Ragnarok and Dark are going to be fighting for their lives and the losers.
Oh, and what a scary place to be in. ZvC for both of those players.
Exactly.
To decide whether or not they make it to the final round even. Not even to get out of this this round of 32 group.
To face another one of these Protosses that have done so well already. It's absolutely a horrifying position to be in, but Dark's been there before. I'm sure he's not too rattled. He knew what was coming. And he is up against MyuNgSiK, and MyuNgSiK, he's been on fire recently.
Yeah, you really have to hand it to him. You got to hand it to Parting as well, just the way he looked in this PvZ matchup. It's just looking so hard for Zergs these days. It feels like the Protosses, MyuNgSiK included, are just beginning to figure out that if they have near-perfect army control and great force fields, they can just win with straight-up Blink Stalker.
It can happen. It simply just happens like that. If you don't get to Broodlords in time, if you don't find another way to do damage early enough so this Stalker or Sentry ball just doesn't crush you, it's such a hard mid to late game for Zerg right now. And no one's really found an answer just yet, except going to like Blinding Cloud or Broodlords.
Yeah, it's like surviving until that late game tech is the answer right now. Guys, we're going to have Parting versus MyuNgSiK up next. We got a PvP on the way to decide who's going to make it on to the round of 16. What are you thinking, Moonglade?
I'm definitely favoring Parting going into this. He does have that world-class PvP as well behind it. But still, MyuNgSiK, in his current form, maybe he can make something happen.
Yeah, it could happen. Guys, we're going to have a 5-minute break first. Stay tuned.